We're doing something unique today. We are recording the podcast at the same time as we are streaming on my business page. So you can get connected with this topic, but pick the way that works best for you to learn about getting back into a fall routine for your business. What does that look like for you? What does that seem like? Please come and say hello. If you don't know me, my name is Jessica Wanglin. I'm a wife, a mom of 2 littles in elementary school. My passions are DIY projects, home decor, all things natural living, and marketing, of course. I teach online entrepreneurs how to build their business and grow their business online with having a dynamic website. I focus on websites, content marketing, and branding. And today I want to talk about what it's like if you perhaps don't necessarily focus so much on your business over the summer. How can you get yourself back into a routine for your business that is going to work for you? So what are the things that you should be doing first? If you're just kind of feeling a little bit overwhelmed, you're not really sure what activity to do, what kind of things to find first to make yourself feel productive, that's what we're going to chat about today. So tell me what it's like over for you in the summer. I'd love to know if you are someone that has kids at home over the summer, you spend most of your time with them like I do. Or do they do some activities, or your kids out of the house? Well, now that we're fall, most children are back in school, which allows us work from home moms to get back into doing things, particularly when you run your own business, I know. So the fall season is just a great time for that, to get back into a routine and get re-energized and all of those goodies after that summer break. Whether you have kids in school or not, there are some simple things that you can do to establish structure and get back into a routine that are going to help you stay focused and get productive. So the topics we're going to cover today are, number 1, the benefits of a routine, the setting clear goals and a schedule. What does that look like for you? Some tips on doing that. Establishing your work-life boundaries, right? Especially when we work from home. We can know that can be a little tricky. Optimizing your workspace, because it's so important. What we see makes us feel a certain way, and that affects our productivity, right? Embracing seasonal content. The fall is a very big time, of course, as we know, holidays and all of those goodies happen in there. So we'll talk about that. And then scheduling time for growth for yourself. That always should be part of a routine that you have. So let's talk about the benefits of a routine. What does that actually look like for you? We want to make sure that you embrace the fact that it's normal that this might happen, that you have deviated from a routine during the summer. I find summer schedules are, of course, a lot more casual. I tend to get up early in the summer because that's when is the only time I can be alone most of the time, or after my kids go to bed. So I really shift my schedule a lot in the summer versus over the school year time period. So think about what kind of adjustments you can make now. If that's not something that you do, can you get into a different place to move forward with your goals now that the fall season is here? So know that if you did take some time off and you're just kind of changing things up, there may be some changes in the business world, especially when you work online. We know how fast that social media can change, right? What does that look like if things are changing specifically for the business that you're in? What does it look like? How can you kind of reshift those things? Both in terms of what's happening externally, but thinking about how those actually affect what you're doing in your business day to day. There can be really a lot of time there to kind of just let some things off your priority list and kind of regroup there. So then realize your productivity increases dramatically when you have done a couple of things, just 3 simple things. When you have goals, you have set your priorities about what you're going to do, and you have a to-do list, right? One of my biggest tips that I give to people when I talk about productivity, and I love being productive and doing all that, is every single time that you are going to sit down to work, you have to know what is on your to-do list to actually do something at that time, right? We have a lot of blog posts on the website about productivity, so you can go and find those too. So the second topic we want to get into is how you can set some clear goals and a schedule for yourself. Are you someone that gets up early? Because I like getting up early. It's fun. I feel like it helps me just get a start in the day, and I'm so much more put together when that happens. Can we do it, right? We talked about that in a little bit of the summer. But is it beneficial for you to wake up just half an hour early and kind of organize and prioritize your day? Is that something that you can do? Think about it. Even if you've never done it before, is it something that you might bring into your practice now, right? Most of the days that you can get up early, you really only have to do a couple things. You can just feel so much more organized when you set your to-do list for the day and you just perhaps do a little journaling. So speaking of that, that's a routine that is commonly called, a lot of people know of, the Miracle Morning Routine. It's based on a book. We will share some info about the book here. a structure to do specific things in the morning before everyone else is awake, really ideally while you're alone. Some people have very elaborate morning routines, but like I said, if you just do a couple things like set your intentions, create your to-do list, and then do some journaling or reading, you will love the effects that it has on your mental clarity, on your anxiety perhaps about what might happen in the day, and just feel really good about what you've accomplished in that small time. So tell me if you do the miracle morning, would love to know. Here's a couple, just 5 examples of things that you can build into that miracle morning routine. Tell me what these might look like for you. Number 1, meditate or practice some mindfulness things. Again, setting intentions to clear your mind for the day. Number 2, journaling, like we said, or engage in brainstorming activities. I love to use the Best Self journal for that, and I'll share the information about that. It's basically a 13-week journal that allows you to set some goals, and then it has monthly, weekly, and daily reflections. So you can go ahead and make sure that your schedule is planned out, you've done some reflecting on affirmations and gratitude, and that you have reflections at night, which is really great. So you kind of have the whole scope of the day in one journal, which I really love. So another thing you could do in your miracle morning routine is read or listen to inspirational, educational content that just aligns with what you're doing, with your personal or professional growth at the time, of course. Exercise can be something in your miracle morning routine, even if it's just like a warm-up of some kind, of a yoga warm-up, can boost your body's productivity and all of that. Energize yourself. And then lastly, plan your tasks for the day. I mean, if you sat down and just wrote down 3 simple things, no more, that you wanted to get done that day, think about how your actions then during the day would align with that activity. You can use time blocking activities for that. Very helpful to allocate time for different activities and go from there. So just remember, I mean, like your miracle morning routine will look different than everybody else's, but pick something that works for you. So while we're talking about setting your clear goals, one thing you want to do when you get back into a routine for the fall for your business is to choose a focus area. What does that focus area look like for you? So determine a specific aspect of your business that requires, some specific concentration and effort that is going to be in one area during the fall season. So it doesn't have to be a whole year-long plan. It doesn't even have to be for a quarter plan for 3 months. It could really be something that you're only going to do for that 1 month of time. And make sure that your activities are aligned with that then. So fall, as we know, is a time, of course, when people get back to their desks. Launches are a good idea, sales happening, everyone's buying. So see if that's something that aligns with what you want to do. Some other ideas for getting back to focus on your business include clarifying your brand, making sure that that's something that you have nailed down and that it works for you, it reflects your personality. Setting up your email list, working on your email list, focusing on growth. There's so many things you can do with that. Starting your website, that is my main topic area. I love talking about websites. I think it's a major tool that you can use for so many different things for your business. If it's not a priority for you, reach out. I'd love to tell you what we do with websites. And then creating content plans. Don't forget about how you can spend some time in 1 month and map out your whole content plan for the year. Wouldn't that be amazing? And you would have all of those things done. So when you have that focus area, you can absolutely select different theme topics for your day. So this kind of goes into your to-do list. So making sure that you are doing certain things that kind of are batched together. So here's an example of what that might look like to help with productivity. For Mondays, what if you spent every Monday doing your content for the whole week? You did all the research, all the writing, all the planning, all the transcribing, any of those kind of things that you had to do to create content. Content should be a major pillar for your business. If you're not doing something like long form content, you're missing out. Long form content like this, like video, blog post, and podcast have an extremely much longer shelf life than social media does these days. It's a great thing to invest in for your business. Get that out there. You can repurpose it in a ton of ways. You can monetize it. You can do a ton of things with long form content. So that should be a day that you definitely have on your calendar. Number 2, so Tuesdays, say for Tuesdays, for example, you did your marketing work, right? This is when you do your promotions. You schedule all that content that you've written. You're writing your email list. You're spending your activity there doing things to communicate with your audience and marketing and doing promotions and such. Wednesdays, how about we do like working on our services or our products, our offers that day. So sometimes they have to be revised, sometimes they have to be created. Writing your digital products and services could be something that you work on at a specific time. Knowing that it's not going to take you all day every Wednesday, right? So you can shift that around a bit. And then Thursdays, what about if you did collaborations on Thursday? So using that time to apply for bundles, researching for guest opportunities, connect in groups, and do your networking all on one day. That would be really great. Of course, sometimes, that gets broken up in different times when we're on social, of course. And then there's always admin. So I always schedule like admin things. I usually set up my schedule where I was taking Fridays off because I was working on our Airbnb renovation at the time. But Fridays might be like a home day, like do all the tasks around here or cleaning or do some admin for my business at the time. So that's a great thing to do on Fridays, like clean out your email, do your budget updates, VA tasks if you have one, those kind of things can be great on Fridays as well. Create your daily to-do list can be things that you only have to do that day, like you have to get them done at that specific time. Or it can be things that you repeat on a regular basis. So things like posting on social media or at least engaging on social, connecting with your audience, answering to messages, responding to things like that, doing your admin work, of course, break that down daily, and then having conversations, inviting people to take a look at your products, your events, your services, your business opportunity, and things like that should be something that you repeat on the daily, right? So going down to our next section about how to establish a fall routine for your business if you are jumping back into things, are connecting with those work-life boundaries, right? Making sure that we have those established. So specifically as someone that does a business from home, it might be something you do during nap time. It might be something that you only have to do during the evenings. It might be something that, like now, my kids are in school, so I do work while they're away. Make sure that your family knows about what you do and when. Sometimes what it comes down to is really just a communication style, making sure that they know what's a priority to you. But use the above list that we talked about to determine what's a good start time and a stop time for you, specifically when you are working from home. That it's okay to prioritize personal well-being and breaks when you need it from home. I tend to get up, or of course, every once in a while, and I'm doing things like the laundry or moving stuff around. I don't tend to clean during the days, but it is super important to do that. Make sure that work can stay as much as you can. Put it into the segment that allows it to be work and that you are at home and you can do those home things and relaxation in the evening, creating that healthy balance. I was very bad at this for a long time personally. I used to my hobby was work, and I would just sit down and I would be blogging, or I would be on the laptop being totally unproductive, not doing anything that was making me any money, quite honestly. But I have changed that. I work during the day now, during the school year, and in the evenings we do home things. Of course, we do activities, we do hobbies, all of those goodies. So make sure that you're just flexible in that, and that your family knows where you're coming from when you've kind of shifted your schedule. So then another great thing to do to help your productivity and set up your routine for the fall is to optimize that workspace. So fall is really about fresh starts, right? I think September is the new January, where a lot of people kind of reset their goals, businesses get back in motion, new things are happening, people are excited for the season. So why not kind of tackle the clutter, get rid of things that you just don't need? The easiest way to do this is get a box. This is my biggest tip for decluttering. You have to have something to put your stuff in that you don't want. Don't just think you can walk around the room and pull out anything. Put it in its own container, give it away, and get rid of it, right? So a clean workspace it's actually scientifically proven, right? Can do wonders for your focus and your creativity. You don't want to see piles of paperwork and all that around. So then make an environment that is inspiring to you. Simplify your things. I've gone paperless mostly with a lot of work that I do. So that's really fun too. And then next, let's talk about embracing seasonal content. So what is seasonal content? Specifically, it is anything that you write about that is focused on that season, of course. We're talking about fall here, and everyone loves fall. Don't forget about give your marketing strategy kind of like some cozy autumn updates and twists. So you can share some ideas with different people. These are some content ideas for you to do and add on as they're relevant for your business. So talk about tips for having a productive fall. What does that look like for you? So perhaps you're a life coach and you want to tell people how they can work that fall season and plan things out in their life in that way. What is that fall spin that you can put on your business? Maybe you're in the wellness space. What are some things that you want people to focus on specifically around fall? I know, because I'm in the wellness space a little bit. That's about boosting your immune system and all those things that go along with it. But don't forget about putting like some autumn themed promotions into your content, like discounts or like fun pumpkin spice things, of course, super fun to do. Another great idea for the fall is to give people behind the scenes for your business during this time. So we're often doing a lot of things where we're showing promotions for people, or offering sales, or we're having launches and such. I am actually going to be launching my first course this fall. There, I've said it out loud, super exciting. But how people see what that looks like. People tend to be very curious about how things actually work for you. And I tend to get caught up in that a little bit. I tend to put out information, but then I always want to make sure that people know how it's done. So it becomes more content, but that really kind of humanizes your brand and gives people like a sense of authenticity, in terms of what you're doing. So don't forget, there's relevant hashtags for every season. So you can use that for your content as well. Ways to engage with, who are you having? Ask the AI friends about amazing relevant hashtags for your niche that are related to the fall. And I'm sure they will give you a great list for that. And then lastly, getting back into a fall routine. How many people have tons of courses on their shelves that they have bought and just sit there and you keep saying, oh, I want to get going on these and I want to take this course and read about that digital product that I got. Schedule some time inside of your plans for growth and personal learning, because we know, of course, it's directly correlated to when we grow personally, our life grows, our business grows. I actually created a Trello board. And it has all the cards are the names of the products that I've purchased over the past couple of months that I actually am working through as the time goes by. So I focus on doing one at a time and then move to the next. When you have something like that front and center, it just keeps it in mind that, it's something great you should be doing. Creating a fall routine for your business. I would love to know which of these tips are going to help you, which you think could get you the most productive and really just help you embrace the season, reevaluate your strategies, and just make the most of the opportunities that lie ahead of you in this season for your business. So again, some ways to get back to a fall routine for your business. Just remember the benefits of doing the routine and how it's going to help you, and so you're not so scattered and jumping from topic to topic. Set clear goals, make your schedule, determine those priorities. Make sure that you know what your work-life boundaries are, what that's going to look like for you in this season, and then optimize your workspace. Really fun to do that. Make sure your work is happening in a work area, perhaps not in your bedroom. You want to make sure that's for relaxation. And then embracing seasonal content is super fun to do now. And lastly, don't forget about scheduling time for growth. I hope this has helped you to grow your business, be inspired, and get excited for this amazing fall season. As always, we will see you very soon in another video or a podcast episode. Thanks, everyone. Before you go, I would love to know what you think of your website. Yes, I am doing a short market research study to find out what online entrepreneurs think of their website. Do you love it? Does it need improvement? Where would you love your website to go in a couple months? I'd love it if you could answer my survey. And there is actually a free gift at the end. You can grab my 60 days of content where I have pre-written social media captions and graphics to go with it as a thank you for answering the survey. So please check the show notes, and I appreciate your help. Thanks so much for tuning into the show today. If you like what you heard, please make sure to leave us a review to help more people find our show and get all kinds of marketing and mindset tips for their own business. And if you are getting started with your branding, don't forget to grab our Branding Get Started Guide at our site at jessicawengland.com/branding guide. Until next time.